Awesome, man. So I'm sure some of our listeners and followers have been probably following you already, but for the listeners that are not following you yet, you want to share, a quick introduction about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I specialize in pre-construction, sell a lot of new condos, new homes. It's what I love to do. Used to be a nightclub promoter before I got into real estate. It was an easy transition for me to get into, the pre-con.
Yes.
And yeah, I love marketing as well. So I think both the pre-con's perfect for what I do, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It makes sense. I know some promoters that also transition to real estate. Of course, you know so many people. If you're promoting clubs, why would you not be promoting real estate?
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome. So why real estate though? Like what were you doing before real estate? Like before promoting?
Yeah, so before promoting, I played soccer.
Okay.
Yeah, from the age of 12 till like around 21, that was my dream. I wanted to become a soccer player. And at 16, I actually, I made it at a high level. I was supposed to sign a big contract, got homesick, right?
Okay.
So I was like ready, like physically.
Yeah.
Physically, I was a great player. But mentally, I wasn't prepared at that age. Leaving Canada, going to Italy.
Oh, you went to Italy too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Playing at a high level.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what I just want to know, like, because it takes a lot of effort and persistence to be pro. And
Yes,
you made it to pro. It sounds like you purposely flew to Italy.
Yes.
And about to become pro as an Italian soccer player, right? So what was the reason when you said mentally you weren't ready there?
Because I was born here.
Okay.
Even though both of my parents are Italian.
Yeah.
It was, like the players over there were looking at me like as a foreigner.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I always had to be a better player, but they really, they were jealous. Right. A lot of them are like, we want to make it. So there's a lot of pressure, a lot of politics that I didn't know about. Because, like preparing and wanting to be a soccer player, I never thought that, I'd have to go through that obstacle mentally, like all the stuff that, players are lying to me about certain stuff. And, I wasn't able to get to that next level because I was just couldn't do it mentally, right? Yeah, but
so would you
physically, like I was ready to go, ready to play at a high level.
But would you say it's because the environment there that made you kind of like not pursue? It sounds like you're a soccer player or a football player. Sorry, my bad. Football,
yeah.
Still Canada.
Yeah,
Canada
we
lingo,
call it football.
North American lingo.
Yeah,
it seems like that was your dream.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
It was. Yeah.
So, but when you got there, is the environment that affected your goal of being a soccer player?
Yeah, and all the politics and everything kind of made me not want to play anymore.
Okay.
Right, because what I had to go through and dealing with the players, and I'll give you an example. I remember when I went for my tryout, I was trying with AC Milan's juniors.
Oh wow.
And then I think a month after I went to FC Messina when they were in Serie A, but the reserves. And I walked into like the hotel where we were staying because the team owned a hotel in Messina. I go into my room, leave my bags. I go to like the main area in the lobby with my dad. Then I go back to the room and I'm sharing the room with somebody, with a teammate, and they're going through my bags.
Oh wow.
And these guys are like smoking weed and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never thought that in Italy. I just came back from Italy vacation. Wow.
Yeah. So it was tough for me to like see, like, why are these guys going through my bag? Like, I was already like, a little bit, I wasn't ready for that, to stay away from my parents at that age. I was like 16 years old, right? And seeing people going through my bags, and, the next day after we had our training and stuff, players trying to like tackle and stuff like that for no reason. But, I was a strong player.
Yeah.
That's why I made it to where I, to that level. And, but it was the mental thing that was tough for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really the environment wasn't, just like, I want to kind of relate this to real estate too.
Yeah.
Because the environment that you're in when you're a football player and all these people that just doesn't have like a good mentality and good energy, right?
No.
They're just jealous of you. But would you say that it's similar to a real estate brokerage as well? In that environment, if you're not in a good environment, it's hard for you to excel, which is what happened, because people, if you're not in a supportive and collaborative environment,
that's a great point.
It's really hard for you to accelerate.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do have to make that change, which is what you did. You're just like, what? I know it's a dream, I know it's a goal, but sometimes you just got to pivot to something else.
Exactly.
Because the environment wasn't good.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's a good point for even a realtor that's starting off. Let's say they're at a brokerage or something where the environment's not the greatest.
Yes.
Go to a different brokerage with a better environment. And if that doesn't work out, find another one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. you should know yourself. Like if the energy is not good, in that environment, if it's all about themselves, it's a lot of egos and alphas. It's not a good environment. It's hard for you to learn and pursue growth there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came back to Toronto.
Yeah.
And what did you do then in Toronto?
So in between, when I was coming back from Italy, I was a nightclub promoter.
Okay.
So I did a lot of freestyle soccer.
I probably went to one of your nightclub events.
Probably. Yeah. Did you come to Republic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, a few times.
I was there Saturdays. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have Asian. I don't know if you had the Asian nights.
No, I didn't run the Asian nights.
Okay.
But I was supposed to bring like, a large group of people, more Europeans.
Right.
That's what the owner wanted me to bring, right?
Okay.
So
how's the promoting business?
The promoting business was great. Got to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
It started off with the freestyle soccer.
Yes.
Right? Freestyle, all the tricks that I would do. So I remember a club owner booked my buddy to do an event. He just wanted us to do tricks on this catwalk. So I did a bunch of tricks. I brought out like 500 people, and I found out these promoters are making a lot of money. They're making like, anywhere from $5 to $10 for everybody that they brought. I was a kid. I was 17 years old.
That's good
16,
money.
17.
Yeah.
Right?
Some of these events can be like 5,000 to up to 10,000.
So I always had that in the back of my mind. Like, you know what? Like when I go back to Toronto, I could just like bring people at clubs and, make some extra cash. Cause while the whole soccer thing happened, like I didn't have an actual contract yet. So I wasn't making money.
Right.
Right. So it's a good side hustle to have. And then when I came back and, I just did it full force, and I was making pretty good money, promoting events. And it's something that I love to do because I was meeting a lot of people.
Yes.
Like Republic would have on a Saturday, maybe like anywhere from 700 to like 1,500 people a night.
Yeah, no, I know. It's a big nightclub.
And I was one of the main promoters.
Okay.
So we, my job was to like create a guest list, submit it to the club. I used to stand outside to make sure all these people would get in. Right,
and
it was
VIP,
like old school marketing. Like I used to go to malls. I used to go to universities, York University. I used to put together these buses that would come down to the events. I used to book limos, get people bottle service, and I used to help people celebrate their birthday. So somebody would turn 19 years old.
Right.
They would call me and I'd prepare everything for them. I get everything set up, their limo, their bottle service, everything.
They have like a crazy birthday bash at the club.
Yeah. So once in a while, I get these DMs on Instagram, people thanking me. Thanks for making me have a good time and making me experience, that party you did at Republic or all these other venues I worked at. Yeah.
No, it's very fulfilling because it is a big celebration for them, right?
Yeah.
And one thing can really ruin their night.
100%.
I'm sure we've all been through it.
So I used to make sure, when they used to get off the bus.
Yeah, in the cold winter, and for some reason you're not in the guest list.
I used to try to get them in right away.
Yeah, right. Or your booth only has a max of 10 comps or something like that. And
what really helped me though was a lot of the promoters would, they would party. So I treated my what I did as a business. They would party, so they'd bring people, but they're like stuck outside, not getting in. But because I treated it like a business, I was always outside, making sure people would get in right away. And let's say a promoter didn't do the job right, didn't get them in, they would come to me the following week, and I'd be their
smart guy.
Their guy, yeah.
Just providing value and providing good service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some other promoters, and that's where you kind of like took in a way stepped up, where the other promoters are after the job is done, they got all the people in, they're partying. Well, you're still outside hustling, making sure everyone's getting in, at the same time building your reputation and brand as a credible promoter. Network. That's amazing. That's amazing. So at that age, promoting, I guess it was teenager to university years, or was?
Yeah, it was. I started like 17 years old. I'd say around that time.
Okay.
Up until I was like 31.
Okay, so here's the question: when did you start real estate and why?
I started real estate almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
Right. And the reason why I started real estate is because a lot of the nightclubs were shutting down, and I was learning that, this is a dying business, like the nightclub scene. Because what happened was a lot of these venues were only open like once a week.
Yes.
Right. So the rents were going up.
Yes.
And they're like, we can't stay open. We can't afford to pay rent and all these expenses. They weren't making money. Right. So I remember in 1 year, I'd say anywhere about like 10 to 15 venues shut down on Richmond and Peter area.
Wow. Yeah. In one year, like 15 nightclubs. No wonder. I remember that time too when I was the party age. It was like all of a sudden I
Do
think
you
it was
remember people used to just go club hopping on
club hopping
Richmond?
on Richmond.
Yeah,
and then
that
all of a
was the
sudden
thing.
it's gone.
Yeah.
like Richmond was gone. It was like a row of nightclubs.
Yeah.
and then eventually it kind of pivoted to King West.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that happened back in like 2008, 2010.
So you're saying all
around
the
that time.
developers were acquiring the land?
They
there.
were acquiring the land, the buildings.
the building condos. Yeah,
Yeah, they're also opening up different businesses and stuff like that.
right.
Right.
So you saw opportunity there.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Okay, so the club thing was still working. It was still doing well because, there was less venues, right? And I was a big promoter, so people would come to me. But I'm like, this is a dying business. This is going to change, in the next 5-10 years.
Yes.
So I was working on getting my real estate license. I'm like, I got to do something else. Because as I was making money promoting, I was putting that money into real estate.
Yes, very smart.
That's what I was
so
doing.
you're investing in real estate as
Yeah, I
well?
was trying to buy nightclubs.
And-
Good
and-
thing I didn't, but like...
Can you imagine the money you made from promoting and partying is actually you put it back into partying? You're partying yourself,
I know.
but instead of
lot of
buying the
people did
fancy
that.
cars or the fancy clothes,
Yeah, a lot of people-
you put your money into the bricks, investing.
Yeah, that's what I did. Luckily, I didn't invest it in a nightclub because I was looking for opportunities back then, I remember, but there was a lot of scams happening. I would have got scammed for sure. I was young.
Okay.
Yeah, I was young, and a lot of those club owners were shysters, and
Yeah. Tell me about it.
yeah.
Okay.
But because I wasn't able to buy a whole venue myself, but like a percentage of an existing venue, like.
So how did you start it off then in real estate? Okay, so you
Yeah.
were making good money promoting, and you saw opportunity there where the nightclubs are all getting acquired by these pre-construction developers.
Yes.
And so where did you got your first, like we call it the first gold, right? Like your first,
Yeah.
how did you first make your first money in real estate?
Okay, so when I got my license, I didn't know if I was going to get into pre-con or whatever. I just tried everything. I tried the resale. I tried the, doing leases, commercial. I remember selling like a franchise. But I didn't know which field I was going to get in. And then my friends were messaging me saying, hey, you know what? Like, I'm looking to buy a condo, but I don't want to spend like, $500,000. This was a while back, almost 10 years ago. I don't want to spend $400,000. I want to spend like $250,000,
Right.
$300,000.
Yeah, you can still get one bedroom at that time.
And I was getting a lot of these people asking me this. So, like one guy's like, can you take me to sales center? So then I did that. And then I realized, I'm like, you know what? Like, I could do this with a lot of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So slowly I figured out, pre-con's the thing. But during that time was very tough for me because I was doing so well still in the promoting. I was making a lot of money.
It's hard for you to transition.
It was hard for me to transition.
Yeah, you're making good money on promoting. Why would you spend time on the real estate?
Yeah. Like I had like one event a year that did like 5,000 people. That would generate like, quite a six digits.
That's amazing.
Right. Yeah. So like for me to like just transition to, I was going to give up because I'm like, there's no point. Like it's, but
You're
then
this
I'm like,
close to give up, eh?
I was so close.
You're this close. Okay.
I was so close. And then this pre-con thing just, happened. At the time when I did it, there wasn't a lot of pre-con agents.
Yes.
There was like maybe like
Not
50.
many people specialize in pre-con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was challenging because of when we got paid, right?
Yeah, builders, developers, pre-construction deal, it typically is 2 or 3 payments.
Yeah.
And you'd be lucky if you get the first payment in the first year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, the
They'll say
remaining-
like in 6 months, but you get it like in a year and a half.
You're right. Yeah, I'm still chasing down for some project that I did 7 years ago.
I know, it's crazy, man.
So
Yeah.
no, you're right. Okay.
So the promoting did help me because during that
Right.
time, the money that I made promoting, I would just invest it into the pre-con. And I'm like, okay, I'll just wait. I'm going to get this money later down the road, whatever. It is what it is. And I remember asking a builder, I'm like, hey, how do I get better access to these projects? And he's like, you got to sell me 50 units. So I'm like,
There you go.
yeah.
That was a golden opportunity.
Yeah, it was.
Right, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So I just hustled, right?
Okay.
And
How
Yeah.
did you hustle hard? I want to know that. I'm sure the listeners are
hey,
dying to
for
know.
me, it was social media.
Okay.
Spending thousands of dollars promoting on social media and my reach, the people I knew at the nightclubs.
This is the first project. The builder that said, if you give me 50 deals, you're in my good list for the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what happened with that was other builders started to hear about me doing this type of volume.
Okay.
Where it, allowed me to get access to other projects. Because at the time, it was really hard getting access, right? There weren't that many launches happening every year.
No.
So getting access to these projects was important.
But let's continue with the first project.
Yeah.
So did you end up doing 50 deals?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how did you hustle for those first 50 deals? Because you, like you said, you did everything at that time. The leases, the resale. So you don't know the pre-con game
I
yet.
let go of the leases, the resale at that time. I just focused and treated that project like I was promoting an event.
Yeah.
So
going back to your promoting a nightclub event.
So I was just thinking Diablo Halloween ball. Okay. And I'm like, how the heck do I get 50 deals?
Yeah.
I called every single person that got bottle service.
Yes.
For me, for the past like 10 years from before, you guys should buy one. You guys should buy one. You guys should buy one. And I believed in it too. Like it's a good, got one myself. Like I'm like, this is a great,
so you were the product of the product.
Yeah.
You weren't just a salesman saying you should buy it.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like I got deals from that, but it wasn't enough to like hit the 50.
Okay.
So then I'm like, what else do I got to do? So with Diablo, I did posters all around the GTA. I would drive at like 3 a.m. in the morning when nobody was around and poster Yorkdale, Scarborough Town Center, Fairview Mall, all the big malls, Sherway, like downtown Toronto. Back then, you wouldn't get fined for posters. Now, if you do it, you're going to get fines from the city. Like, they're crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I did. But I didn't do the poster thing. I'm like, how do I get it out? I was flyering houses.
Yeah.
Okay. Social media.
Yeah.
Videos, ads on Facebook. I remember back then I was dumping crazy money on like Facebook ads, right? You just boost it.
Facebook ads was cheap back then.
I didn't know what I was doing.
It still is now, but it's very underrated. But no.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was just testing it out.
Just testing it out.
Let me throw it here.
But you got results from Facebook ads, right?
I did. And I had a massive email database from the club business. So that transition like really helped me. Right, but, having the contact.
But what I like what you did, Corrado, there is like you didn't just rely on your network and database.
Yeah,
you to reach that goal of 50, right? You provided maximum exposure.
Yes,
it's what our team believed in as well, and what we did. Even when I first started my team about 7 years ago, I just went 10x maximum exposure.
Yes,
right. I put signs everywhere.
Yes.
Open houses, signs like every block, every corner.
I've seen your signs.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. We must have the rainbow signs.
The rainbow signs.
But we put it everywhere, and there'll be weekends that we've sold our inventory, all of it.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had to continue the exposure.
Yes.
For our brand because we want to be like the area specialist.
Yes.
Right. So you don't stop. You don't just give up when the job is done. I will ask other colleagues in my office that like, hey, do you have any open houses this weekend in that area? And when they do, I'll be like, I'll do the open house for you.
Yeah.
Why not? It's free branding for you.
Yeah.
So even in the winter nights, I remember, actually it wasn't nights, in the mornings, because that's easier to put out signs at that time in the mornings when there's less traffic. It's less dangerous.
It's the best sign,
Best time. but it's the winter.
Yeah.
Right? It was winter, snowing. It doesn't matter if it's freezing minus 10 degrees. I will go out myself because we don't have big budgets at that time. Just like you.
Yeah.
You won't hire someone to put up posters.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you do it yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what I did too. And
me and my buddy.
Yeah. Just provide maximum exposures for your listings, for your brand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so that's what really helped me, get the volume. And also another thing was a lot of agents would just stop promoting when the project was not as, the hype's kind of, the hype goes away.
Yeah.
A lot of agents would kind of vanish.
Yeah.
But I would still be there selling.
Amazing.
Bringing in people, and at the time I did have a lot of help. Like there's one person that I remember from Baker that helped me out a lot. She taught me how to sell.
Yeah.
And a lot of credit goes to her because I would bring people in. I didn't know nothing about condos at the time. Right? I never lived in a condo.
Yeah.
Right? I lived in a house.
Yeah.
My dad was always against buying condos because we're Italian. Like
I have a few of those too, right? Like,
and
like
she helped me.
Yeah. It might be the same person actually. Who knows? But we're not gonna name any names now.
Yeah.
But that's the power of networking.
Yeah.
The power of just going out and meet people. Like you don't stop. Like I have a few that helped me out a lot too when I first started.
Yeah.
So no, you gotta start from somewhere. Just like me and you, we don't understand the pre-con game.
Don't be afraid to start.
Don't be afraid to start.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Take risk and really just continue meeting different people until you got to get your golden opportunity.
Yeah.
Just like what you did.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you met your 50 sales, okay?
Yes.
How did you continue your pre-con business? I want to know.
Yeah, so from there is just every area and every project I would provide a different marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Maybe flyers in a certain area. Downtown Toronto, you can't really do flyers. It's harder to do that.
It's harder, yeah.
Because the reach is much more, right? But doing that, doing the videos for Facebook. I remember speaking to somebody from Facebook because I was spending so much money. So they gave me like a marketing expert guy specialist.
Okay.
And he's like, you know what? You got to do more videos. If you do more videos, you're going to get, because not a lot of people are doing them. This was back like 2016, right?
Okay.
2015,
So what kind of videos were you doing?
Just like presentations of projects.
Okay.
That really helped a lot.
It does help.
Yeah.
Because it shows you how you sell.
Yes.
Right? And at the end of the day, if you yourself, right? People could be relatable to you and say, okay, I like Corrado, right? They'll give you a call.
Yeah, and I remember I was just making generic videos, and this was before a lot of people started posting on Instagram, like around the same time.
Around 2016, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was tough because people were like, what the heck's this guy doing? Like people are making fun of me making these videos.
Same here. Yeah.
Right?
But, you just got to continue
I just
on.
believed in it.
Me too.
I kind of saw the future like I did with pre-con.
Yeah.
With pre-con, I got into it because I saw a future. There's an opportunity. Now there's a lot of agents that are doing it, which makes it a little bit harder. But if you're good at what you do, people are going to come to you, especially if you build a brand.
Yeah. I did. You started video earlier than me. Just like you, like I knew video is the way to go. But I kept on putting it off around that time, 2016, 2017, 2019. I kept on putting it off because, the excuse like, I'm too busy for it, right?
Yes.
And the market was good at that time.
Yeah.
It was kept on escalating. But the opportunity was when COVID happened.
Yes.
When COVID happened, like literally the day that the government announced shutdown, I was in the basement.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta start this video idea that I had for the longest time.
Yes.
And that's how Signature HAUS Tour was born. Because I always felt that the typical walkthrough from agents is just, it doesn't provide much value.
Yeah.
Instead, they're just walking through the house, talking about the house. And if you're lucky, you get that. Sometimes they just do like a quick introduction on the driveway.
Yeah.
I don't know if the flashing watches and flashing cars make any sense. Are you selling the house? Or are you showing off, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, for me, I felt like how I want to do my house tours is kind of the same way if you were my buyer and I'm showing my buyer right now. So that's how it felt like when you watch our Signature HAUS Tours, right?
Yeah.
Very relatable.
Yeah.
We go through everything about the house, right? The pricing, the floor plan, the finishes. But the most importantly, when you buy a house, you probably know, Corrado, it's not just buying a house. You got to buy the location.
Exactly.
How close it is to the transit, how close it is to the nearest community center. Schools, we also talk about the school rankings.
Yes, the rankings.
That's extremely important because we all know that there's some buyers that don't even care about the house.
They don't care.
They just want the address.
The address, yes.
So we wanted a video that really made it feel like I'm doing
hit
a
all
buyer
those
showing.
important points.
Yeah, I'm doing a buyer showing for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm selling. Instead,
Yeah.
I'm just simply doing a walkthrough at the same time, explaining the data, the pricing analysis, what sold recently here, right? That's all in our video, right?
Yeah.
There's not like selling. It's more about just providing value, providing
value
data.
for people.
Yeah. So
great.
no, that's great. And that's similar to you. I saw the opportunity in video, and for you, your video, your kind of niche is Instagram, right?
Yeah. Like during COVID, when everything happened, I spent about 15 grand just on equipment. I remember I'm like, I have to go all out too.
Sounds like us.
Yeah. And I was making about 2 grand a month on YouTube. Just like off, like I was making a lot of videos about investing and stuff like that.
How many followers you have now on YouTube?
Not many.
Okay.
I think at the time, maybe about like 1,500 or so. Now I'm at probably close to like 4K.
So what do you mean by $2,000?
I was making $2,000 just off Google plus sponsors.
Oh, okay. So
and I'm like, there's an opportunity here, right? But what happened? There was a shift in the market right away. Because we saw that like June 2020, the market just kind of like went up after, right?
Exactly.
So I kind of stopped it a bit. Like I stopped doing the YouTube because, we're busy, but I still put out content, like for me, what I do is at nighttime. That's when I put out videos after I put my son to bed.
Yes.
I put my son to bed. I'll make some content.
That's like a side hustle.
It is.
Yeah.
Because during the day we're busy selling.
We're busy selling.
Yeah. We're busy selling. So I do it whenever I have the time. And the time is at night. Sometimes I'm tired, but I got to get the videos out. Yeah.
So for anyone that follows Corrado, when I go on your Instagram, I hardly see any houses listing just sold.
Yeah.
Or even any pre-construction renderings. Your Instagram channel is very not real estate.
Yes.
Here and there, you're throwing through real estate.
Yeah.
Can you explain more why you do that?
I do that because like, for example, I love soccer, right?
Yes.
So I'll make a lot of content about soccer. The videos do go viral. Some of them go viral. And people will reach out to me because they like soccer, right? Or they like the team that I like, right? Inter Milan. and they'll be like, yeah, I want to work with this guy. But then sometimes people will land on the page, they'll be like, what does this guy do? And then they'll look at some previous posts and stuff, and they'll see, oh, this guy's a realtor, and they'll connect with me, right? They'll see the pre-con projects, and then they'll send me to people. That's how I get a lot of my leads, right? But I think the agents that are selling, people, it's harder to sell, right? It's like if you're more just putting out content, putting out value to people, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come to you. They're kind of like they'll want to work with you more, right?
And another thing about that, Corrado, is, and I tell my agents this too, is like relatability.
Yeah.
And at social media, everyone's putting out, every agent's doing the same thing. Of
I just sold this house.
I just sold this house.
I just leased this property, like,
right?
Yeah.
And I think Instagram, people just don't want to see real estate, what you do, what you're selling. They want to see how your personal life is.
Yes.
What is your interest and hobbies, how they can relate to you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I was telling one of our agents on our team is that, don't just put real estate content. If you, like, whatever your hobby is, one of my guys likes golfing. So you should put more golf content than real estate content.
Yeah.
Because automatically when a buyer or your followers see golf content, they see the relatability, then they'll always think of you as you're like the golfing realtor.
Yes.
Right? You like golf and you like real estate agent. I can connect with you. I can connect with you.
Yes.
Right? And how much more fun it is too.
To deal with somebody that likes golf. Yeah.
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 There
It's
you
a
go.
lot better to deal with that person, right?
I'm sure you have buyers that just are huge football fans. I was about to say soccer.
Yeah. During COVID, I did this thing. We did this live DJ thing.
Okay.
Right. And I remember I just wanted to provide value because people were at home, not doing anything. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I like team up with a great DJ? His name was DJ on Top. And we we worked together on this project. So we were just going live on YouTube.
Okay.
So we were
live on YouTube. That's amazing.
We're going live on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We're just DJing, doing a bunch of giveaways. People are having a lot of fun. And it's crazy because this guy calls me, this random guy. He's like, hey, you know what? I want to buy a pre-con, right? I want to use you. Like I tuned into your live, your YouTube live. Like, all right, so come to my office. He came to my office, came in a green Lamborghini. I'm not really a car person, so I don't know the name, but it was a brand new Lamborghini. It's probably worth like
green Lambo.
$300,000-$400,000.
Over, right?
Bought a car. I'm sorry,
bought a house.
Bought a new condo.
Okay.
He bought
just
a new
from
condo.
That YouTube live.
Just from the live.
You never met the person.
Never met this person.
Wow.
Just shows up to my office in a Lamborghini and buys a new condo.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the power of, putting out content.
Yeah.
Things you like. Hey, and if you don't want to put out content about like your passion and what you like, just, even if you're putting out content about you selling a house, at least it's something, right? But if you actually want to get like you want to get something out of it, if you put out stuff that you like I like soccer, that's what I'm putting out. I put out a lot of soccer content. You're gonna get DMs from people.
I think one block from a lot of people, their concerns is like, how do they look in front of the camera? And mentally, they think that people is gonna be like make fun of them or get negative comments. But at the end of the day, you really just gotta have to filter those out and just go on camera, go produce content and produce content that what you like. For example, what you did, right?
Yes.
Produce content like about soccer, football, and naturally people is gonna connect with you.
Yeah.
The people that will connect with you. Don't worry about connecting with everybody. You cannot satisfy everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna get bad comments for sure.
There's gonna be haters.
100%. I get them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know you're doing something right when you have a lot of haters.
Yeah. Yeah. You just gotta block it.
You gotta block it.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome, man. So what other marketing strategies can you share with us that was also successful with you in the past?
What was great was I was doing like a live to air one of the nights was on a Wednesday night. It was like a Latin night, and we were live to air on Z103.5, and I was promoting a lot of the projects. So I was killing two birds with one stone. Basically, I was promoting the projects.
Love that.
Tony Monaco was calling me the condo king. Right? And that helped out a lot. So I was getting people to come to nightclubs and selling at the same time. I didn't get that many deals from it, but it kind of helped with my brand.
The branding.
It helped
because we know
branding.
that there's a lot of people listening at Z103.5.
Yes.
But wait, let me get this straight. So you're telling me that you're supposed to do a live broadcast about the club, promoting that club event, but at the same time you're promoting your pre-construction project. How is that possible?
Yeah. So during the night, we would just come on air and just talk about like, what's happening at the with the night, the themes, whatever we're doing. And then I'll just throw in like, we're selling this condo, new development in Vaughan, Jaden Highway 7, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And I get inquiries from it.
And Z103.5 allows you to do that?
No, we were allowed to do that because we were promoting, like we own the slots, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that because you're like kind of doing like a live event for that nightclub, I thought you could only talk about the event in the nightclub.
Yeah.
That's cool that you can also promote your pre-con projects.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We were able to do that. It was, but I made sure that, we really promoted the night, got people to come and did our job. And that was just a side thing that I was doing, and it was working. It just helped me build the brand. Yeah.
Maximum exposure.
Yeah.
It just goes back to maximum exposure.
Yeah.
Never stop selling, never stop promoting.
Yeah.
Right? You're a promoter at heart. So talking about that,
yeah.
You definitely hustle, man. Doesn't matter.
I love marketing.
You love marketing, so
yeah.
you're a natural marketer.
Yes.
Just like me, I love marketing as well. But you're hustling, you are, because you're a family man as well. And you said that even after you put your son to sleep, you're focusing on different marketing campaigns.
Yes.
Right? So you're hustling like crazy. We've seen
yeah.
it, right? You try different things. You hustle on YouTube Live, events. How do you balance with wellness? Because wellness is a very big thing at HAUS as well.
Yes.
We hustle hard, but we also know that wellness, your own personal well-being is just as important.
Yes.
So how do you balance with your work and personal end?
Yeah, again, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but every morning.
I really do. Yeah.
Every morning I run.
Every morning.
Every morning I run 30 minutes. I could probably keep up with a professional football player.
Wow.
Yeah, and
you're athletic, I can tell.
Yeah,
For sure.
every morning. If I don't do it, I just can't function properly. And at nighttime, normally, okay, so I'll do my sit-ups, push-ups after I run. But if I don't have time, I'm busy that day, I'll just do them late at night after the videos. So I don't get that much sleep, which is not good. But
yeah, people call me the same thing. Like I don't get enough sleep. But we know that like sleep is very much needed.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much on average of hours of sleep do you get per day?
Man, I think sometimes I get like 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar. 5-6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you have like a catch-up day, like a recharge day?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes
very needed.
I do. Yeah.
Because especially the days that you know that, okay, I definitely need more sleep. Mm-hmm. You have to, because sleep is very important.
It is.
But for me, I'm good. I'm good for 6 hours.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that like after I sleep more than 6, I overslept. Like I get groggy actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some days I don't get enough sleep and I can't do all that in a day. I just take the day off, like take a break.
So you work out or you run every day?
Every day.
That's discipline.
Yeah.
So how do you
it's
like?
Just like something that I did when I played soccer,
Yeah.
right? I trained, in what we would do in Italy was we would train in the morning, right? And then in the afternoon we would like scrimmage.
Yeah.
And play against like the first team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we used to play against the
since
Serie
you're
A
young,
team.
you were running every day already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's almost like a religion.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you get the runner's high?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
When does it kick in for you?
I don't know. It just I'm so immune to it. I don't really know. It's like I think it's after I run.
But you love it, eh? When you get that runner's high, that
yeah.
dopamine hits, eh?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you ever read this book. It's by Chip Wilson.
No.
He's the owner and founder of Lululemon.
Okay.
Yeah, read this book. It's a fascinating book.
Yeah.
I think it's called Little Black Stretchy Pants, which was what made Lululemon famous.
Yeah.
The black pants, the TNA pants.
Yeah.
And no, Chip Wilson from Vancouver, actually, he talks about how he applies the runner's high to growing his Lululemon business.
Yes.
Where typically the runner's high kicks in at the 35-minute mark.
Yeah.
Where natural occurring dopamine hits. And it's fascinating because we know that just like a drug is fun because it kind of dims your past.
Yes.
And kind of focus on the future, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't focus on the future without knowing your past. So dopamine, where the 35-minute high happens, is actually in the present. Mm-hmm. So how they apply that to the Lululemon business, and we try to do the same thing. I try to apply the same thing for my business at HAUS as well, is that you cannot recreate the past. Mm-hmm. So all you can do is focus on the present.
Yes.
This way, same thing what we do with applying our business processes, our design. Even though the stuff that we know has worked, tried and true, we don't just stay there and keep it. Yeah. We continue to with applying better designs and recreating better business processes, better business processes, and to ourselves. So that's kind of the culture that I'm trying to implement in our team as well, is like continue pursuing growth and learning.
100%.
Stay humble, right?
Stay humble
and learn. Don't just think that just because you got a major win, a big deal, that you're the top guy.
Yeah, and it's crazy how like these billionaires, look at these billionaires, right? Guys like, Steve Jobs,
Elon Musk,
Warren Buffett, all these guys are humble.
They're all humble.
If you didn't know they're worth billions of dollars, you think they're like just an average person, but that's just their mentality. They're humble people.
Bill Gates reads on average about 3 books per week.
Wow.
Yeah, and he will have every quarter.
Do you know if it's like Audible or just like he just?
No, he reads.
Yeah.
I specifically, I think it was a podcast I was listening to, that he doesn't listen to Audible. He reads, just like Oprah Winfrey. But Bill Gates, every quarter he'll have a week trip. He goes off the grid and goes to one of his compounds or islands that no phone, no nothing, and it's just reading and manifesting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He owns a lot of farms in the States, eh? Like majority of the farms in all the U.S.
Why farms?
I don't know.
Agriculture? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they're all humble. They're all like the most fascinating people. Are all always learning.
Yeah.
And don't think that they are the know-it-alls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Mark Zuckerberg, right? Like he just wears a normal T-shirt. He doesn't. He always wears the same clothes.
We save a lot of time like that. Yeah. If every morning you just wake up and there's 10 white shirts, you have no choice but to wear that. It saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
Those time can be applied to growing a business with new ideas. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So humble is the way. Definitely continue pursue growth and learning.
Yes. Hey, question. When did you get into real estate?
I got real estate in 2008.
Yeah.
So just around this time where people say like recession.
Yeah.
Right after the financial crisis.
Tough time.
People thought I was crazy. Like literally after the Lehman Brothers crash was a week later was officially got licensed.
Wow.
Yeah. People were saying that, it's the worst time to be a real estate agent, but it's all right. And the first few years was tough for me. The first few, I always tell people that, and that's one thing that I try to recreate at HAUS, is that I want a better culture, a better environment for our agents, because we all know how tough it is starting.
Did you start with a team?
No. So at that time in 2008, team was not a thing yet.
Okay.
There's no such thing as teams yet. Yeah. It's the typical like boiler room style. I started one of the top brokerages in the city. I'm not going to name any names. Okay. But it was a very toxic environment in the sense that like everyone is to themselves. There's no collaboration.
Yeah.
None of that. It's a lot of ego. Right. It was not a good environment. It's hard for any new agents to thrive. For sure. So my first few years, I only did like a few rental deals. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. I was young too.
When did you get into pre-con?
So pre-con was actually around that time. I was about to say, like after 2-3 years of like doing no deals, I felt like condo makes the most sense.
Yes.
Right? Because my demographic, my age
2010?
group, around 2010.
Okay.
Correct. And Baker's was one of my first projects too. And yeah, that's when I kind of learned the ropes of pre-con after I saw my sister buying a pre-construction investment. And I was like, wait a minute, this agent, also a young agent, driving a Benz with really cool glasses, I still remember. But cool guy, nonetheless. I still keep in contact with him. And he only did like literally a few hours of work and made a boatload of money. Because I remember asking my sister that question, like, how much did this agent make? And he's like, there's 4% commission on the purchase price. I was like, wow. Yeah. He literally just showed up in like a white t-shirt, like a white V-neck t-shirt with like some. He was a funny guy too, with flip flops.
No way.
I'm not joking with you. It's hilarious. No, this guy's a character. I know. I love him. Yeah. D, if you're listening, props to you, man. No, I that inspired me. I'm like, if it was that easy to make a deal, why am I not part of this? So in university, I got my license. It was easier that time too. Not easier, but like faster. Like it was 3 courses. And even still, I saw that deal happen. Still took me a while to get the pre-con deal.
Yeah, to figure it out. Yeah, it takes some time to figure it out.
Typically, it's always just that one project.
Yeah.
That you just killed it. Then that's
the door's kind of open.
The door's kind of open, and you kind of apply that same template to other projects.
Yeah.
Right. You just do maximum exposure, market it like crazy to your database, right? And then you also learn how to kind of like connect with builders as well, because that's one thing. You have the buyers. It's also another thing to get the allocations too.
Yeah.
So that's when I started. But eventually, I didn't want to continue being a condo guy. I pivoted to do resale.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did both resale and pre-con. And then eventually at 2016, I started the team, HAUS team.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of new agents want to get into pre-con, right? What's your advice for them?
My advice is actually don't get into pre-con.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Yeah. You know what? If I was starting today, I don't think I'd be a pre-con agent because there's so many people that are doing it. Like back then when I did it, like there wasn't that many people doing it. That's why I saw an opportunity in it.
My advice is that what I'm trying to say is don't get into pre-con is don't specialize in it.
Yes.
Definitely, if you have buyers for, of course, go ahead and don't stop promoting projects, but don't just specialize in pre-con. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
After for doing this for 15 years, and from what I see in the market now as well, is when you do anything in any industry, is you have to try everything.
Yeah.
Just like what you did.
Yeah.
You were hustling resale leases, and then eventually
commercial.
And commercial.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And then eventually found your thing was pre-con.
Yes.
You really need to, you can't say no to anything when you first started real estate.
No.
You have to try everything. You can't, you go where the business is, right?
Yeah.
You go where the money is.
And it's important to try everything too because you may not even like it.
Exactly.
Right?
And you won't know until you try.
Yeah.
And eventually, once you try everything, you got to find what you like and what you specialize in.
Yeah.
But for any new agents that think that pre-con is easy and it's easy money and big money and it's and I get it. It's very exciting selling pre-con projects, right? It's amazing projects. It's
the commissions are high.
Commissions are high.
Yeah.
But I feel that definitely do pre-con, but don't think it as the end all and be all. Like do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue hustling pre-cons as well hustling.
And don't just look at these agents that like flaunt, right?
No.
Show off cars,
Definitely not.
watches.
Which is why I sign in the back, stay humble.
Yeah, I don't count my money until the deal closes because there's a lot of clawback clauses in these.
That's very good advice,
These
Corrado.
referrals. There's a lot of clawback clauses, and you know what? If the purchasers do not close, you got to give that money back to the builder.
Correct.
So you need to save your money.
Correct.
Put it into like an ETF or something. Like leave that money. Make put it in an ETF.
Yeah.
Something. High interest earnings account.
Yeah.
Savings account.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if you don't have the full down payment for a real estate purchase,
yes,
maybe partnering up with a family or friend.
Yeah,
maybe.
You know what, man? That's happened to me. I had to give back commission.
Yeah,
because purchasers did not close.
Yes,
right.
It's happening more now.
Yeah,
yeah. Especially with this down market, there are clawback clauses and builders that cannot fulfill their agreement and build. There are going after the commissions back.
Nobody really talks about this.
No one talks about this. I don't mind sharing this, but it's very common now. Yeah. Especially that's why. Do your due diligence with which builder you're promoting.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Me and you both been burned.
Yeah, so many times.
There's a few events that we've been to and a few projects that we did, and we've been burned.
A lot of agents haven't experienced that, right? Being burned, 50 deals in one project, 20 deals in another, 10 deals in another.
Please stop.
But the thing that really bothers me is not our commissions. It's not the money. So with one of the projects in Vaughan that canceled, it was the same time I got married.
Mine was in Vaughan too. It was tough.
I didn't. It's probably the same one.
Yeah.
I didn't go on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
For that, and that really bothered me. When I look back, I really don't care about the money part of it. Like I do a bit, but the most important thing was I didn't get to go on my honeymoon with my wife. We didn't get to experience that time. I lost that time. Right. A lot of people refinanced their property. Some sold. They're out of the market now.
I know.
Because back then, that area was like $500 a square foot, $600.
Now they're priced out.
They're priced out.
Yeah.
That's what really bothered me the most.
Yeah.
It demotivated me a little bit, but then I'm like, I'm only going to work with the biggest builders, the guys that I know that are not going to screw people around, the ones that are going to complete the project, the ones that are going to pay commissions. And those are the ones I work with.
It's funny that you brought that up, Corrado, because you say that you demotivated you, and at the same time, and I think we are talking about the same project.
Yes.
It also demotivated me, and you clawed your way back by selling it and continue pursuing pre-con. I kind of did the other way around.
Yeah.
It demotivated me, and I'm like, it kind of made me. I didn't have the taste for pre-con anymore ever since that.
Yeah.
And that made me grow my resale team.
Nice.
Which is probably like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
In a sense. And I'm so happy for that. And now we do everything, right? We do We sell the whole GTA and pre-con at GTA. We still have some solid relationships with a lot of different developers over the years. And now you just got to pick your projects carefully.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, your reputation is on the line. And you don't want your clients to be burned.
Yes.
Right? We're all in the same boat.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's tough. It's a tough industry. You know, I don't know if it's, do you think it's for everyone? Do you think any agent just get into pre-con? Like, what's your opinion on that?
With that, I think, okay, first, find a good mentor, I think, if you're a new agent. That's my opinion first. I think that should be your focus. If you're self-disciplined and you're naturally a good people person, you may not need a mentor.
Yes.
There's still nothing to lose when you have a mentor.
No, I think a mentor is important.
It's very important. Very important.
You can take your business to the next level.
Yeah. If it's not a mentor, paid coach.
Paid coach.
If some mentor or coach is willing to take under your wing, then go for it.
Oh yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Like that's what I didn't have.
Me too.
I didn't have that, man.
I didn't have that.
I wish I did.
Yeah. For the first 2 or 5 years of my real estate, I was just figuring out shit myself.
It's sad, man, because a lot of the agents that I was helping at the time, I thought had my side. I thought they had, they were going to help me, but they didn't.
Darn.
They didn't.
What happened? What do you think happened there?
Well, okay, so like in the beginning, I was getting access to projects, but certain projects I didn't have access to, and I was doing a lot of deals with other agents, right? Okay. That's how I was able to get those units. Right. Right? And some of them are like, yeah, you know what, Corrado, you can work with me on this, But, they didn't care about, the next one. They wouldn't help me out. They'd only give me the units that they couldn't sell, right? And I know they had the ones I wanted. Right. Right? So, yeah, that's just how that works. Just be careful who you're working with. Sometimes, people could trick you and stuff, so be very cautious.
I can tell me and you are the nice guys. And people will take advantage.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I can feel that we're all about like putting people first.
Yeah.
And some people see that and might take advantage of that.
Yes.
So that's another thing too about at HAUS is like having a strong community is so important, and that's why we always use the word community rather than team or agency. It's because community at the end of the day, if you look at the definition of community, it's a fellowship with one another that have a common interest, activity, and goal.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So if we all have similar activity and interest, but the key thing is this. It's interest, right? Yeah. We all have the interest of one another, not just yourself. Yeah. Right? Really uplifting and supporting one another. Yes. And really achieving wins together. Mm-hmm. And but at the same time, if anybody have a bad day or any challenges, we're there for you. Yeah. Right? Really have guys that you can trust that they're there for you at the bad times and the good times. And when they need our assistance to either like close a deal or maybe they'll go on vacation and we can do a deal together. Like it's important to have someone you can trust, right? Yeah. Knowing that you go on vacation or anything like that, that you have the backing of
the backing,
and why we call it community as well is that a team, like we don't believe any hierarchy in house real estate. Like I feel like hierarchy doesn't apply in the business industry, real estate business industry, because real estate industry is a very unique industry. Yes. That's why over the last 10, 20, 30 years, all these disruptions in tech and different industries, real estate has remained the same. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's a people business. Buyers are trusting you or sellers trusting you with the most important asset of their life. Yes. Right? So they need that real estate advice from a professional. Yeah. So it's a people business, and in our community, it's more like how I treat it is, it's kind of like a village, and I'm like the mayor, right? In a village, and we're all living in the same street. Every individual have their own businesses, right? And if you live in the same village, we all want good in our community.
Yeah, it's positive energy.
Yeah,
right.
Correct. You could say it's competition. Yeah, healthy competition. But at the same time, our mindset is collaboration over competition. Because at the end of the day, even though
I said it's like positive energy.
It's positive energy. Yeah. That's one of our mantras. It's good energy. Like, if you have good energy to all around, and you do really care about helping one another.
Energy is something that I feel that I sense. Me too. When I feel that there's bad energy somewhere, I don't like being there. I will not go there. I will stay away from it.
I feel like just like me and you, like we've been through a lot and we learn a lot. Yeah. And you said that you had people that the trust there, and then automatically didn't work with you, or you didn't work with them or whatever. I feel like now just energy, just feel out the vibe. You already know. Yeah. Yeah.
Knowing you're a nice guy, right? Going back to when you went all in on resale, wasn't it hard because you're a nice person? Because
100%.
Because for me, one of the reasons why, like now resale is a little bit easier for me to do. I've been doing a lot more transactions compared to like when I first started off, right? But back then I remember like people are getting divorced, stuff like that. I just, I was selling a house for like an older person, and I would just sometimes just give back my commission because I just felt bad. The person needed the money. They're in a bad situation. And that's one of the reasons why too, I didn't enjoy it at that time, but I'm like, I'm going to do it when I'm older. Right.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Because me and you are nice guys and we're putting people first. We felt like either discounting commission or rebating is like you're providing good service.
Yeah.
But in reality, you can still provide good service and represent their best interest and putting people first without discounting a commission.
You know what's crazy, bro?
Yeah.
Is that I've done it for so many people and they don't even know I did it.
I know.
They didn't even understand that I didn't charge them to sell their house. They didn't even understand how the commission part worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel that's more of like explaining your value prop.
Yeah.
Once you realize that what's your true value and what's your value prop, you know how to explain it better and basically at the end of the day, get that listing, get that deal.
Yeah.
Right? Without needing to discount a commission.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I started Signature HAUS Tours is that it's the best way to explain a value prop.
Yeah.
Not just, obviously the main reason is to market and provide maximum exposure for our listings, right? And try to sell the house, explaining everything about why, all the selling features about why you should live in this home.
Yeah. But
before I go to a listing appointment now, a lot of times they've seen our videos and I can tell from the homeowner's eyes when they first open the door that they decided to use us already.
Yeah.
They decided that they know everything about us. They're like, Raymond, William, welcome. It's not like kind of like just, who are you? Hi, I'm this and that. Is like very formal. It just felt like they know us for so long already, and it's very different from when I first started. And now back then when I first started, it was on average a 2-3 hour listing appointment. Now maximum is 1 hour.
Yeah,
because we got all of the other nitty gritty stuff out of the way. Because they already know how we market and how we provide maximum exposure and how we do our services. That we just get to the meat of it. Yeah. And in our appointment, it's really, okay, what's your commission? What's the logistics? What's the timeline? Let's talk about pricing. Yeah. Well, we don't even talk much about our marketing and how we can, why we deserve what we deserve.
Because people know. That's how they found you.
Yeah. So I think one key thing for anyone listening is to really find your value prop. If you don't have it yet, find it. If you know that you do, try to narrow it down. Really, really explain it very easy and simple. If not, that's why, just like Corrado, continue putting out those content and videos. Yeah. Continue. And yet, listen, you may not get a lot of viewers and you may be cringing with your first videos.
It's patience though, like with content, creating videos and stuff like that. It's you got to be patient.
But when I say content, it's not just social media.
Yeah, it's
like don't get me wrong. When I say content, it's
everything.
Find your thing. Like if you're a good writer, then write letters to for sale by owners and drop them off.
Or post on LinkedIn.
Post on LinkedIn. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be video and flashy stuff. Like if you're a good talker, then start a podcast or cold call or anything like that. Find your thing that you're really good at and just continue producing content out there explaining your value prop. Yeah. Yeah. But there's no better way, in my opinion, though, than social media, though. Yeah. In my opinion. Because when you do social media and you do vote a video or pictures or posting, like there's so many ways, so many different channels that you can promote it that I feel is the most efficient way. Yes. So, yeah. So one question, Corrado, if you can go back in time to your younger self, let's just say in your teens and 20s, what would you tell yourself?
Take more risks, I would say. I used to always think that I was getting old. Like, I was like, even going back to the soccer, I'm like 17 years old. I'm like, I'm getting old. I have to make it. I have to play here. I was comparing myself to other people, right? But, we have so much time, especially if you're young. I had so much time. Now, going back, like, I probably would have taken bigger risks.
For me, I feel like I just started. Like, I feel like I just started. Like, you're never too young. Yeah. If you look at all the most successful people, right? Yeah. Disney and sorry to cut you off. Like, they started their business. Bezos, like they're like in the 30s, 40s.
Yes. Yeah. Also, it depends what you're doing. Like, if you're an athlete, you have to. Right. You have to start young. But still, like even at 17 years old, I had a lot of time. But again, for another thing is also investing at a young age is important. Investing your money, put it in a TFSA, RRSP, and just try to max it out if you can. Invest it in something like
Agreed.
Vanguard ETF, the VOO, which is
that's what you recommend, eh?
S&P 500. Yeah, if you don't know how to invest, instead of having like mutual funds and stuff like from the bank, it's the best way to do it.
Got it.
Yeah, it's stuff that I learned now,
Very
like
true.
at an older age. But it's the best thing to do, I think. At if you're in like your 20s, early 20s. Yeah.
Okay.
Even in your 30s, you're still. It's not too late. Never too late. Yeah.
You're never too old to do what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Right? You're never too old. You live and learn. So Corrado, what do you see yourself? What do you see the future of real estate is going to be?
The future, I think you just have to create a brand, for myself as a realtor to be a top performing broker. I have to keep working on my brand, right? And I think real estate in general in the next 10 years, I really think that we just don't have enough houses, and for all the immigrants coming to Canada, coming to Toronto specifically in the GTA, I really do believe that prices will continue to go up. Now, times are tough right now. There's a lot of people that want to sell their properties, a lot of negative sentiment in the market, and I really think that that'll all subside. I recently just bought a house a couple months ago, right? I already I'm just saying I'm buying properties.
I just moved to my new house a few months ago.
Yeah, I'm just buying, if I have extra cash, I will buy properties in this market. Now I think is the best time to buy. I'm not just saying that because I'm a realtor, but I believe in it. I'm doing it myself.
Going back to the real estate business though, when you say build your brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I just want to touch base on that. Is that the future of real estate, why do you think it's more and more important to have a solid brand?
Okay, I think during times like this, where it's harder to do deals, people are going to go to the best. They're going to go to people that have a brand, people that they know, people that they remember. When they think of pre-con, they're they got to think of. I want them to think of me. Yeah. Right. That's what my focus is.
Yeah,
right?
Especially with all these new tech that can help the consumer now.
Yeah.
Right.
With AI,
House Sigma providing all the data. Yeah. Right. Like where they find and hire the best real estate consultant is the one that has the most influence
and knowledge
in that area that you're looking to buy.
Yeah.
Right. Just like if you specialize in pre-con, then you got to naturally find Corrado, the one that specializes in pre-con. And if you specialize in a specific zone, area, school zone, they got to find that area specialist.
Yes. I think you need to have that, that niche.
Yeah.
You need to be good at that. You need to be known for that niche, even though I still do resale.
Yeah.
Right. But I want to be known for pre-con. That's my thing.
It makes a lot of sense. And that's why we just said that in the beginning, don't be afraid. Don't think you're too young, you have no time. Really do try everything because it's important to niche and to specialize.
To niche, yeah.
If it makes you happy that you do everything, great. Yeah. Continue doing your thing. But like you said, where technology is accelerating and AI is getting more and more smarter, your brand is extremely important.
Yes.
What people thinks about your brand is very important.
It's very important.
It's the same like the following. I love to follow Gary V. Yeah. Gary Vaynerchuk. He's my guy, man.
I love him.
Well, that's why I got Hustle Hard from, man. Yeah. The guy's a crazy hustler, hustling everywhere, every time, and
he doesn't stop.
He actually thinks he's basically a guru coach of everything, but he actually thinks branding is the most important. Oh yeah. Once he talks about branding, and the way he put what branding is so good. Yes. He said that it's basically how I feel branding is when I go into a shoe store, the difference between choosing the 3 stripes or any other regular shoes and how I feel when I see the check mark. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's why more and more everybody when at a shoe store, they lean towards the check mark. Yes. It's how Nike has positioned themselves as that, lifestyle brand. Or like that brand that they're the superior brand. Yeah. It's amazing.
He also says in the future, with Alexa and stuff like that, and let's say you want to order a product.
Oh, I heard about that too.
Yeah. I want to order pasta or whatever, get something delivered to your house. Right. you're gonna have to specifically say
Correct.
the brand name.
Correct.
Right.
And he said that that's why he's building a catalog of content.
Yeah.
Because he does feel like in the future, like just like my daughter, all she does is like Alexa this, Alexa that. So same thing when my daughter, she's 6 years old now. When she's 26, buying her first property in downtown, she's gonna ask Alexa or AI, whatever that is in the future, that who's the guy, the pre-construction condo guy for this area downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
And automatically Corrado's gonna pull up.
That's my goal.
Automatically Corrado has so much content that he's collected over the years that AI will know that this is the go-to guy. Right? And that's why it's so important to produce content, because when you have content, naturally more and more people and technology is gonna find you and exposure.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And another thing, when you're creating content, don't just create it just to create it. Always have the mindset that, you know, give value to people. I think that's what I've always done.
Value and be genuine.
Be genuine.
Be genuine.
Yeah, be genuine. Don't lie. If you don't know something, don't say it.
Don't say it.
Right?
Yeah.
Interview someone.
So many people claim they're experts, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel just the other day, like really humanize your content and just be you, because the reason why people find you and people find you to trust as an agent buying or selling is they want to find someone that they can trust.
Yes.
So if you're trying to be someone else or you try to front, and when the time comes that, okay, you're lucky enough to land that appointment, and then they realize that you're not that person, you're just wasting your time.
Wasting your time, yeah.
Yeah, and I also feel it's kind of like, must be like a lot on your suffering when you're trying to be someone else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's mentally, it's a lot. Like I feel it's like, I kind of feel sad for that, actually.
Yeah.
Like it's like, just be you.
Yes.
You know, everyone's unique.
People want authenticity, right?
Yes.
That's what they want. That's what they're looking for.
Someone they can trust and connect.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So going back to how we finish off with our podcast, Corrado, we're going to finish off like this, okay?
Yes.
If you can share any book, okay, what book would it be that you recommend our listeners?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you love real estate.
Classic.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that book.
What's the reason?
Just about how, you know, he had the rich dad. and like, I don't know, I just think that that mentality, having that mentality and can create a lot of wealth.
Yeah.
I always tell my son, he's 4 years old.
Yeah.
I tell him, what's an asset? You put money in your pocket. I learned that from that book.
Yes.
What's a liability? Take money out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Right? So it's I love that book.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
I read that book very, very young.
Yeah.
My sister made me read it. My sister's like a serial entrepreneur. I'm so glad she made me read it. And then after that, I liked the book. I'm like, wow, I want more stuff like this.
What's your favorite book?
She went out and bought The Rat Race for me, the board game.
Okay.
So that's a really good game that made me.
The Rat Race.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
My favorite book?
Yeah.
Because just like you, I'm a big marketing guy.
Yeah.
So it has to be a marketing book. For me, it's
Gary
actually...
V?
Gary V's one is definitely up there, right? But I would say my favorite marketing book is The Storied Brand.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I got to check that one out.
Check that one out.
Yeah.
Check that one out.
Did you read Crushing
For
It?
sure.
What's the other one?
Jab, right hook. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He's coming up with a new book too. Really
Yeah?
excited for it. Yeah, it's called Attention Currency or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like Gary Vee books is all really good. But I would say my favorite book is The Storied Brand. I love that. Last question. What's your favorite quote or mantra?
I would say like I have quite a bit because my dad.
Say it all. say what? Yeah, which one?
Live simple.
Okay.
Is just one of them.
Yeah.
Don't be like everybody else.
Yeah.
If you talk a little in Italian,
don't be like everyone else.
In Italian, it sounds better. If you talk a little, you talk a lot.
Say it in Italian.
Gubarabika barasai, it's Sicilian.
Okay.
Okay. What else? There is cucurza longa. If you take shortcuts, you'll actually end up taking the long way.
Be patient. Yeah.
Yeah. There's quite a bit that.
No, I love all those. Even though I understand the Italian counterpart, but like that's really good. Okay. No, thank you, Corrado. Thanks for being here, man. And one last thing is, if the listeners want to find you, where can they find you?
At Corrado on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow.
Awesome.
Amazing content.
Thanks for having me again, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
It was awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.